Okay, today we're going to talk about cleaning grout as well as staining it at the same time. I'm in a bathroom floor right now where we've got a dark color grout, and I couldn't tell you exactly what this color was before, but we're going to try to make this grout that's dark, stain it with a white colorant. And dark to white, or a dark color to a very light color, you might sometimes need more than one coat. So it's going to start off using a heavy-duty grout and tile cleaner. By the way, make sure that we're dealing with ceramic and porcelain and not natural stone, because this can etch natural stone. So what we'll do here, we've got a bucket with clean water in. If we were doing a vertical surface, we'd probably use a bucket to pour our heavy-duty grout and tile cleaner into so we can dip the brush into it. But here I'm just going to use the quart bottle and pour it full strength on the grout joints. And when we do that, we're also going to be scrubbing the grout, agitating it with the heavy-duty grout and tile cleaner, scrubbing it in. And we're going to let it sit for about 5 minutes so it's working, and then we're going to re-scrub it and then rinse it. So after 5 minutes we're re-scrubbing it. After it's scrubbed in now, we'll take a sponge with clean water and we're going to rinse that off. After it's rinsed, we're going to let it totally dry. So that might take another 20 minutes to half an hour for that to dry to be ready for the grout stain. So we have to prep it first, and then we'll use our grout stain afterwards. I've got it poured in a small dish, and so it is somewhat user friendly now. And I've got a very narrow foam brush that I'm going to use to apply to the grout lines. Right now, initially, I'm thinking to watch how this coat, how it covers. Otherwise, I'm sure I might have to come back again with a second application after a couple hours. So we'll take this, and on the grout lines, to avoid a lot of unnecessary cleaning up, I would concentrate, if you can, keeping that grout joint as even as you can as you go along, and minimize the cleanup on the tile afterwards. Yeah, the way this is covering now, I'm thinking that I'll probably have to come back, put another coat on. The nice thing about this grout stain is that once it is sealed, and this sealer should last anywhere from 5 to 15 years. I got a little bit of a rag. Or for that matter, if it dries, I'm getting it kind of before it gets too thick. Keeping a damp sponge, it'll take the majority of it off the face, and then after a couple hours you can mist it with water and wipe the rest of it off. But definitely does make a difference. After it's had time to dry, now we want to try to buff some of that off the surface of the tile, since it's so small, to get that gloss back and take some of the stain that's on the surface of the tiles, some of the little bit of the haze from the coloring off. So we're going to use a scrub sponge and keep it at a diagonal since our grout lines are horizontal and vertical, and we're just going to wipe it off. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. The next thing we're going to do is, I'm not satisfied with how that first coat covered, so more than likely I'm going to put another coat on and then repeat the process. I would wait about an hour, and then I would come back out on it and I'd buff it with this pad again. But it should look somewhat like this once you get that film off of the coating, that epoxy. Let that dry, and there you got a new grouted floor. Now when you're putting grout stain and you're using natural stone, you don't want to be cleaning it with the phosphoric acid cleaner or the heavy duty cleaner. You'll want to use like a neutral cleaner. I would use it full strength, scrub it in just like you did with the heavy duty cleaner, and let it sit for a while, re-scrub it and rinse it. And then when you're applying the stain, concentrate primarily on the grout line. Try not to overlap as much because it just makes that cleaning up a lot harder to do. So take your time. You're not as free to smear it over the surface of the tile as you are with a ceramic or a porcelain tile.